Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the StarLadder broadcast. Of course, for the SEA qualifiers for the Asian Minor. And of course, we are going to get into this best of 3 very, very soon. We'll be jumping right in. We'll be getting into the first map, which is going to be Overpass. Of course, Beyond versus Alpha Red. Both of these teams winning their lower bracket quarterfinal matches to obviously face off in this position. And of course, as we jump right into this pistol round, it is going to be Beyond to start on the CT side. And so, we are going to see this pistol round taking place toward the B bomb site. Alpha Red ready for this short take. They do have a single smoke and a Molotov on Lazy, so that'll be utilized most likely toward Heaven for the smoke. Molotov probably going into toxic barrels to clear out that position. They are taking their sweet time with this round, especially considering that there is a little bit of interaction toward the top of the short, but even so, Olivia are able to take down one, and the Safara trades return back into a 4 versus 3. 35 seconds on the clock. And there's Olivia again to make sure that the bomb site is probably safe. Just BNW Gigs left in a 1 versus 3. As he does find a first, it is KNTZ to take him down and return it. That'll make it a first round for Alpha Red, popping up with the pistol to make sure that it is going to be that CT side not able to survive or take anything from that round, to say the least. And of course, they will be taking the eco on the CT side, not going to be investing into anything in this sort of position. They want to make sure that they have the full buy in the next round. There is obviously that small chance of them going for the purchase, of them taking the force buy. Olivia even able to knife attack us early in this round. That is not going to work out too well for them. I'm pretty sure that Vatakis might be Mayros, although I'm not too sure. Because we have BNW Gigs. Gutor, I'm not too sure either. Okay, no, I'm looking at the completely wrong side, my bad. Okay, so it's Vita. Okay. There's Rolex. Okay, even able to find a tap with that USP, make it a second. Mayros now down to low HP. Luckily, he will be able to stay alive. Might consider swapping out the AK with 789 at this point, just for the fact that they don't particularly be wanting to lose that rifle early. Still, KNTZ to find himself 2, and his Foxy and 789 to finish. That'll be a 2-0. Alpha Red taking a pretty simple start, but of course that's always going to be expected. If you win the pistol round, you're most likely going to take the second one as well. So of course, that'll leave Beyond going into their first gun round here on the CT side. The AUGs, of course, to be in abundance. Unfortunately, not going to have any sort of the fuse kit to back it up with. The utility is pretty limited, of course. No AWP. That's already going to be a limiting factor, but it's definitely something that they can work with. Foxy already dropped down to 53 as well. That'll be a tough time for him, but obviously he's the player that hasn't upgraded into the rifle. Unlike the rest of his side, we'll just be keeping the MAC-10, so fair enough. Even if he was to die, probably not a rifle that they care about too much. And still, beyond putting the majority of their men toward that B-bomb site, you have a quick rotate if necessary from Rolex up toward the heaven position. But even so, in a minute left on the clock, it is going to be gigs that could actually catch Lazy Fox, or at least Foxy here, and yes, he will. That'll be Giggs going down and into a 5 versus 4. Veta, these trades back for the first, make it a second as well. He's done his job. That is all he needed to provide. And as Mayros to trade in return, back down into a 3 versus 3. That will, of course, force the full rotate from the CT side. There's a little bit of spam in return, but not before Olivia to take down Rolex. Mayros to find one more, and that just leaves Safara. A beautiful little position utilized on top of Optimus Prime. And that'll be Alpha Red not only putting themselves at a 3-0, but denying the first gun round of Beyond as well. That is one of the better aspects of winning that first CT, or winning that first T-gun round, because you now put your opponents back down into another eco. This should be Alpha Red most likely going up to a 4-0. Obviously, we'll see a plentiful purchase going into round number 5. But still, this is a good start from Alpha Red. Everything that they would want and require at this point. But even so... Ooh, Rolex. Does he know where KNTZ is? Not too sure. The damage, at least to be given to him. He's down to 39. But as Olivia able to catch off Vita, this should be a pretty simple round to say the least. Aero's nice adjustment onto Rolex, ensuring that he can't do any sort of damage, and into a 5 versus 3. Even with a couple of players tagged here, they shouldn't be losing any men. They shouldn't be dropping rifles at this point, just for the fact that there's no Kevlar involved with these sort of pistol purchases. And even though Giggs will check the right position, it is KNTZ to take a frag in return, and that'll be a 5v2. And even one more, fair enough. That'll be just a fire left. A pretty simple round. It's nice to see a clean round as well, because pistols, there's always a position for them where they can really start to screw your day up, where they can take you to a couple of deaths and really just overthrow you in the round itself. Luckily, there was no Kevlar or anything significant with them purchases, but a 4-0 that does now see Beyond, of course, into their full buy. Veta to pick up that AWP. You can see the T-side economy starting to stack pretty well so far. But obviously, this is the round now that Beyond will be looking to take victory of. And probably one that they will have to as well, just for the fact that they would be allowing this T side to run away with a lot of rounds if they do lose this one. And obviously with 3 players on the defuse kits, decent utility for every man. It will just come down to the execution for Alpha, and they're already wanting to make a play toward the A site, but Vita. Beautiful first kill. Foxy to be taken down. An AWP strike that may be looking for more. And with a Molotov to go down in return, that at least keeps Mayros down at 57. Olivia trades, but the same for Vita again. The AWP striking true this time as he finds himself a 3K. And into a 1 versus 3, it seems like finally Beyond have been able to overcome Alpha, and that is definitely the case here. That's a 4-1, and finally they put a round on the board. And of course, that will now leave the T side able to reinvest. Olivia will pick up the AWP straight away, though. And that's something that I like. A T side AWP is one of the more difficult aspects to handle, especially on a map like Overpass with your entry points being a little chokish. You can definitely get caught up in places like tunnels and A long. But if you can utilize an AWP, then you're going to have a very good time on the T side, because obviously CTs get the easiest set at a bunch of kills. So just being able to... Oh, beautiful boost up by Olivia. Giggs was actually aware of it there, which is the crazy part. Not that it matters, though. That'll be a first frag going over to that Alpha side. And if they can take away this round, if they can find the victory in this one, that will mean Beyond will be down to another eco. They have to be able to win consecutive rounds to make sure that they stay alive in this CT side, or at least for the first or the next couple of approaching rounds, because dropping out of this one, that'll mean straight back down to an eco again. And even though with Guta on like just under 3k, it won't particularly provide too much for the side itself. So this time we'll see a little bit of a smoke execution toward the B site. 7 as he finds a kill. The trade from Guta, but it's not going to be enough so far. And it seems like Mayoral's even aware of the connector flank as well. Gets that door closed, making sure there's no entry point. And that will just force Beyond back into a save. An AWP and an AUG to be carried over. It's not too bad of a save, to say the least. And there is even a world of possibility that we see a reinvestment out of Beyond in the next round, because with Rolex and Vita saving, that's 2 rifles to be carried over. Guta can buy as well if they can drop a couple of FAMASs, or maybe even M4s if the loss bonus is enough. Obviously, they'll now be reset, so maybe that it might just be down to an eco instead, for the fact that they'll have probably around $1,900 on Giggs and Safari. That's going to be inhibiting, to say the least. But there we go. Obviously, the round loss bonus will work in their favor. And we should definitely see a reinvestment out of this side. Veta can drop the AUG. Guta can buy. Safari, a little bit limited. Might have to go from a FAMAS from Rolex. So this is definitely going to be a chance for Beyond to rebuy. It would be a pretty weak buy compared to what Alpha have, but even so, it's definitely going to be worth it to try and challenge that side again. So obviously we'll go back into live. A little bit of attack pause to be taken. And here we go. We do see the rebuy. Fair enough, I've got to say I like it. The fact that they've been able to put up 3 AUGs. And the FAMAS in the hands of Safari as well. All in all, that's pretty good. Of course, these guys have a little bit of history. They've played a lot recently. Not since March, but it was currently, it's Alpha Red that have a 5-man or 5-map winning streak over Beyond. But obviously they've not played realistically since like 2017. They played 3 times in March. Alpha Red won all of them. Although, to be fair, one of them was cash, and obviously that's not in the map pool anymore. Ooh, Veta. Nice first kill onto Fox. That'll really allow him to make sure they get the entry. But even so, a 2-for-1 trade. And that really starts to ask questions of how good Beyond are now. Traded again, but Giggs able to make it down into a 1 versus 1. The AWP battle to come to fruition here. But Olivia, he'll play smart. He'll dip right away from the main entry point of the site. He'll go around towards short. This could really work in his favor as well. The angle in which he is planted will be able to at least force him out. But even so, as he taps onto the bomb, oh, he spotted the arm, I'm pretty sure. And as he crosses back over there, oh, first shot missed. Even lands a tag. Vita trying to push. Time is ticking. He will find the kill. And I think there is just enough time to defuse. Which there definitely is. Beyond, they win themselves a nice little 1v1 clutch. Messy to say the least, but it's a second round for that CT side. And what a weird round that was. To say that the CTs won that probably shouldn't have happened. Giggs obviously helping them out massively with that double that he got on short. But even so, of course, CT side back into a rebuy. The T's do have a little bit of cash in reserve, as they did invest again, of course, but even so, with Olivia down to $100 now after rebuying the AWP. It does at least mean that if Beyond win 1 or 2 more rounds in a row, that'll be the T's down to an eco. They can finally get themselves a little bit of an advantage. Push for at least a tie, potentially, and try and force out the first half to go in their favor. Veta again being solid with this AWP. 25 seconds left in this round as they try and enter onto the A-bomb side. It's not going to happen as Giggs trade back 2. That'll leave KNTZ in a 1 versus 2. And as dudes are even low able to find it, that'll be a third for Beyond. Now, of course, seeing that T-side take a little tack pause of their own, there is money in this side, but it is not as deep as they would like. So at this early stage, okay, there we go. We are going to see a fourth buy. I was going to say we can buy 3 rifles here. Why are we not purchasing? But that is definitely going to be the case. Even with a MAC-10 and a CZ, this is still a pretty decent buy round, just for the fact that they have those 3 AKs and decent utility. And to be able to force out a lot of the repurchases from Beyond as well, it makes life just a little more difficult. And there you go. Foxy, as he's able to aggress Giggs there, he's not particularly doing too much. But even so, as Vita, oh, if he repositions into toilet, this could be perfect. If he gets away with a frag, This could really work out. Foxy on the other side, however. Trying to bait out the shot at least, but as the leg has been spotted, there's the first miss, and Vita somehow comes out alive in that position. He even has a chance to get back toward Toilet, but Rolex, he's low as well. Finally, the kill to come through by Foxy as well. 35 seconds about to cross. Ooh, even trying to tap. Oh, there it is. I was waiting for that. Rolex. Oh, finished off by Olivia. Okay. A 4 versus 1 that'll see Safara just go for a save. And this is really unfortunate now because Beyond, they're back down to, I'm pretty sure, no loss bonus whatsoever in this position. Not that it particularly shows it on the server, but with the fact that they've now won 2 rounds, or they lost a round, yeah, and then won 2, that'll be back down to 1400. So this will be an eco on the CT side now. And there we have it. Now that CT side, of course, back into an eco round. We'll be able to ensure that they have the 1 AUG saved up by Safara. Mayros makes simple work of that. Not even too sure why he wants to aggress through the smoke, but look at this. They find a couple of kills with pistols that will now send the T side toward the B bomb site, but as every single man begins to rotate through short, they do have themselves a couple of rifles to work with now. 789 can't really do damage, but I mean, there's a load of tags coming through. Nothing in the form of confirmed frags, but there it is. It looked a little risky to begin with, but they finally were able to close it out. And with that CT side going to save the AWP. That will just leave Vita to go and save his AWP. Fair enough. The worst part about it is they're not even able to allow the save of the AWP either. That is a little unfortunate. I mean, Rolex could potentially go glass cannon, although it seems like an option that they're not going to take at this point. That will see Beyond down into a very unfortunate position, to the point where if they lose this round, that will be Alpha Red most likely going up to a 9-3 scoreline. And if this CT side can't do anything to battle in this first half as they get onto CT, as they make their way toward victory here for Alpha, that is where it can get a little dangerous. And even if Alpha Red can confirm double figures in the end of this first half, that'd be perfect for them. This is some great damage done to KNTZ, though. He's down to 24 from a beautiful spam. Oh, and there it is, Rolex. A jumping shot. Not that it particularly matters. Mayrolls, how does he find 2 there? Make it 3. Foxy able to close down Vita, and the round falls apart. To say that Rolex gets the jumping shot, Mayrolls, I want to see where this frag came from. Because he lined up 2. Okay, so there was 1 there. Oh, they lined up like perfectly. From the angle that he was at, he comes straight. They lined up perfectly. That is so unfortunate, but even so, it forces Giggs into a save. And they know where he is as well, surely. And he's not allowed to carry it over. This is starting to really seem like a very rough half for Beyond right now. And so, that CT side, they're back down to pistols yet again. Not going to purchase Kevlar, even with some players having economy to do so. They want to invest everything into their gun round. But this time, 2 players toward the B bomb site. Not that it will make any sort of significant difference. It'll be 7, 8, 9 to spray down a first. Some great damage done, and to finish off the second as well. Giggs trying to come in from the flank, but a simple cleanup and a 9-3. That will see Alpha Red taking a very, very confident first half lead. To be fair, Beyond Train is a map, oh sorry, Overpass is a map that these guys don't particularly play. They have played it once in the past 3 months against Maple earlier this month. They won 16-13. But Maple being a side that doesn't particularly see them too well in Overpass either. But the scary part is, the first 2 maps in this series, Overpass and Train. Beyond have played Train twice in the past 3 months. They lost 16-12 to Maple. These 2 sides haven't played Train together particularly, but even so, Mayro's beautiful entries. Finding themselves 2 kills. They're making a 3rd and a 4th to open up the B bomb site. And this is going to be absolute decimation out of Alpha so far. And as Rolex, the final man in a 1 versus 4, even tries to save the AUG. But again, that round loss bonus, whilst it's growing, won't be as strong as making sure that that CT side have a full purchase. It's weird as well for the fact that right now, Alpha are on a pretty bad run of form. They beat AOES yesterday in a best of 3, 2-1. But, I mean, they won Train pretty they won Inferno pretty convincingly, lost Train, and then won Mirage. The Train and Mirage both in the series, or in the veto at this point. But even so, 10-3 and double figures confirmed by the T side. Winning this round essentially means that most likely we will see Alpha Red going up to a 12-3. A beautiful nade spam though. KNTZ down to 60. May rolls again. Able to land himself another entry frag. Ooh, door to be open. Nice lineup though. Rolex. The trader frag in return. NTZ. Okay, he will fall. There we go. Guta to take him down. And that now at least gives an advantage. And as Giggs trades back one, make it great damage on a second. Finishes the man off as well. And there we go. Beyond. They'll take themselves a 10-4. At least making sure that the CT side isn't going to be as disappointing as we would have expected. And so this time, we will see, of course, both sides on their full buys. Unfortunate that Vita isn't on an AWP. Mayrolls, though, he's so good. You literally just send him to a position and he finds kills. Foxy able to do the same. And Vita, at least able to trade back a single frag in return. Rolex, will he be drawn out by the sounds? Yes, he will. And that results in certain death for him. Even so, flash up toward the B bomb site, wanting to take it over. As the first man toward Toxic might be able to bag a kill, it's Safari that trades twice. Unfortunately, can't make a third, but it is Vita to trade back in return. And that bomb now to head toward that lower monster position. The saving grace is that Olivia is on 100 points of health. Still able to deploy the smoke at least. Leaving him down into a 1 versus 1. It is Vita that tries to get himself an angle beyond the smoke. Oh, but as the man is spotted, Olivia able to finish 11-4. And a pretty confident half out of Alpha, to say the least. Mayrolls, 19 kills. He's been having a bomb game so far. And so, as that CT side for Alpha getting ready to begin. Here we go. This decides whether Beyond stay in this half or not, realistically. As, of course, that's CT side, providing that they win the pistol and the second round to come. That'll put them up to a 13-4. So, Foxy going to rotate over. At least provide a little bit of a more assured A bomb site, but I'm loving this boost out of Mayrolls. He's accurate enough to land some of these shots as well. And a lot of utility being used. Tor able to throw the smoke over toward the B bomb site. That will now make the execution a little bit easier. Great dink onto Foxy as well, as he's down to 19. A tag onto his own teammate as well from KNTZ. Plant to go down now. And this might really work out for Beyond. This could be their way back into the game. Oh, 7-8-9, however, to find one. Foxy to trade back, and as they try and retake, Mayrolls taking out 2. Look at the HP of these players, though. Oh, but even so, damage to be done. Not that it matters. Mayrolls to take out the final man as he survives a 12-4. Even with a bomb plant going in Beyond's favor, it's not going to make them win a round, and that'll see the CT side put up to 12. Will we see a force buy out of Beyond this time, though? Will they go for the rifles? They can guarantee at least a couple of AKs to be dropped if they want to do it, and yes, they will. But fair enough, I'm liking it. 2 AK-47s and the Galil, of course. Losing this round pretty much does give Alpha Red the chance at 14-4, though, and that's a little scary. And with a couple of players down to Glocks as well, does just make their setup a little more difficult. Tor to make noise inside a toilet, so at least they know where the first man is. The shadows to assist them, the rifles to bag at least a kill or so, however. Gigs to take out Foxy in return. And that will see the CT side retaken toward the A site. But look at Olivia right now. He's already in the flanks. Should be a free kill to him. And definitely will be. That takes out one more rifle. Look at Giggs' HP as well. As May rolls to take out one. At least Safara trades, but it won't be enough this time. Or will it? Oh, maybe it will. Safara. Oh, able to land the shot onto NTZ as well, but as time is ticking, has to try and dip toward bank, of course. Surely able to stick the defuse at this point as well. That's the round lost in itself. And whilst he will be able to find the frag, not that it matters, a 13-4, they can't save. Okay, they actually do get an AUG out of it, fair enough. And again, we will see the force buy out of Beyond. I've got to say, I'm liking the purchase they're making right now because that CT side is still incredibly weak. And there's the first. Tor able to take out Foxy. Once again, they realize that this T side have gone for a rifle purchase once more. Still, we do have Olivia out toward a long. He's going to be the man to sort of try and hold off this A-long push. Oh my god, a spam. Safara tagging onto KNTZ pretty heavily. Giggs, though, not going to be checking his position. That'll be a free kill for Olivia there. I think he has been spotted at least, but oh, he's going to try and play smart. If he dips back toward the fountain position right now, that could really work out. And with Rolex trying to lurk toward the B bomb site, Tor at least able to take out 789. That works for them now. The rotate to be made and at least a refrag to come back through, but a 2 versus 3 they have to deal with. And look at Tor's positioning right now. They seem to have finally been able to overturn that CT side with, again, another valid force by Safara to finish. And that CT side, they most likely will have to go for a force buy now. And yes, they will. So Beyond, this puts them in a great position to the point where they're able to most likely battle for a 13-7 scoreline. And of course, with Alpha being down to these limited weapons, it is going to see that CT side not particularly able to do too much in this sort of position. But can definitely show some good signs. If they find a couple of kills, especially with them having Kevlar, that is a way for them to be able to strike and get some kills. But up to now, as Safara to find the first kill, should be realistically all they're getting out of this. Is that little bit of damage. However, this time, look at Olivia able to strike onto Giggs. Oh, maybe even a second. Oh, no. Thankfully, Vita able to take him down in return. If he'd have found another frag, that would have been extremely dangerous. Oh, Vita spotting out the first, waiting for him to approach. May rolls. He'll fall as well, and that should be the round at least. Confirmed by Beyond. So going up to a 7, most likely on the CT side now. Sorry, on the T side. able to battle for some more rounds and maybe try and take it to double figures as well. That could be a possibility. But even so, at this current moment, with Alpha Red going to take a little bit of attack pause themselves, just decide what they want to do for the next round coming forward. And obviously with it being an eco in this one, they'll be able to hold off and then buy into the next. Olivia, of course, not going to buy anything. He'll be wanting the AWP in the next round, and fair enough, he kind of needs it. Especially being on that CT side. It's always going to be valuable. And still, this time Beyond will play more of a concise A-site setup. Olivia even able to do decent damage, dropping Gigs down to 17 points of health. Still has 789 to be spotted. Some decent damage to be done to him. A nice little boost up here, though. Should be a free kill for, and it definitely is. KNTZ to take out Safara. At least able to whittle down some rifles. That's going to be the best part about it. And even so, a rotate to be made up toward this A site. Oh, nice little lineup by Vita. That's unfortunate. Sort of representing the lineup that Mayroll's got in the first half as well. But even so, 13-7 on the board, and that does see Alpha Red, of course, able to go for the buy in the next round. But Beyond getting themselves some decent run of rounds in this T side. And as Tor able to take out the final man, of course, that will now see the rebuy for Alpha Red. Olivia onto the AWP. Gotta say, I'm liking it. The scary part is, if this T side do in fact die in this sort of final stage of the game, this might just see Alpha being able to take victory. But the fact that the CT side is very economically limited, to the point where if Beyond win this next round, they are most likely going to put themselves either up to a 13-9 or a 13-10. Who picked the first map? We're not too sure. We don't particularly find out with the face it vetoes. But I'd assume this is an Alpha Red map pick. Just because it's a map that they have played a lot in the past. So with 50 seconds on the clock, this time not too much interaction made. And it looks like it is going to be Beyond that will head down toward the B bomb site. A smoke at least to keep them at bay on short for now. Giggs being sent as that lurk player, though. But with 3 men toward the B bomb site, this is going to be a very difficult site to take already. 789 to land that first initial frag. Tor to push through short, however. Might be able to land a trade, and yes, he does. Beautiful spam by Mayros, but a frag in return. KNTZ to reply, though. And the same for Foxy. Gigs to close down, but into a 1 versus 2. 56 points of health remaining. And as Olivia trades into a rifle at least, wanting to aggress, lands it. And there it is. Alpha Red finally putting themselves a CT round on the board. However, it took them a very long time to do so.
Counter-terrorists win.
And even so, that CT side right now still very, very limited. Not been able to go for a full buy, or at least to the full extent that they would like. KNTZ and Foxy both down onto MP9s, and it seems like this time it'll be a fast B bomb site rush for Beyond here. Straight through the smokes, Mayroll the first to be dead. Make it a second and a third. That's the round done in itself. Alpha Red, they are so limited in their overall setup that they've just not been able to find the frags. Not been able to hold off the bomb site, and that'll see Olivia and Foxy both going for the saves. And there we have it. Even Rolex able to take out Foxy.
Terrorists win.
And Olivia as well, not able to survive. CT side back down to another eco. And this will now, of course, see Alpha Red going into that pistol buy. Not even a buy, it's a full save as well. They'll just stack toward a short. Try and catch off a couple of the rifles. And just see whether or not they're able to close it out here. This T-side getting stronger by the rounds, though, and especially with Alpha being very limited in this one. Most likely, if they do keep it clean in this round, they'd be able to come out with success. Vita, nice tap onto Mayros, however. Olivia does find a frag in trading, but overall shouldn't have too much of a massive impact. The rifle hasn't been picked up, even if they tried to. There's no Kevlar to run with it either. They're down onto the B bomb site already. And that should see Beyond going up to a 14-9. As Tor able to find himself a kill. Safara the same. 7-8-9 already finished. There we go. 14-9 in a single round. Away from double figures now on this T side. Alpha Red, of course, able to go for the rebuy. Olivia not able to get back into the AWP, however, and that's going to be a pretty limiting factor for him. He's not even going to have that much utility. There's no defuse kit at all on this CT side, so running on a very fine line. A line that, scarily enough, is probably going to lead to Beyond at least getting back to a 14 sort of 11 kind of scoreline. And that's going to be a really difficult aspect for Alpha Red to be able to face, just for the fact that this CT side have kind of proven they've not been able to get rounds in the gun rounds. I mean, that one scenario where Beyond were just able to run down toward the B bomb site. Yes, they had MP9s, of course, but you should still be bringing the core fundamentals of your sight holds into rounds like those. And even more so if you're limited by weaponry. And still, this time is Beyond. They'll be heading down into an A bomb site. Okay, maybe not. Rotate back towards B. Fair enough. You can never tell particularly what Beyond are going to do, just for the fact that they do like to keep a lurk player, either Giggs or Rolex, to just try and either be a nuisance on another site or just to break through and get behind them. However, with 30 seconds on the clock, it is going to be Beyond that start the execute down toward the B site. 25 to go. And as long as they hold the first line, as long as they stop the initial breakthrough, they might just be fine. Foxy to return, and Mayrolls the same. That should be the round itself. And as Zafara is left on 24 points of health, even if he tries to fake out the plant, he has no time to win the round. They even take him down as well. 15-9. And Alpha Red, they finally break through. Map point for them now. And luckily this time they do have a full buy to go in their favor. A couple of AKs to be picked up off the T side as well, but obviously Beyond, they have that investment that has constantly backed them up so far through this T side. It's not going to be a B bomb site take this time. I think Beyond have decided against that. They've not particularly showed too much focus towards A either. A couple of rounds here and there, but nothing too crazy. Olivia again to situate himself toward A long to at least make sure that if Beyond do try and aggress, it will be with some difficulty. Playing behind the first rock as well is always going to be a nice position because you can tuck yourself in. Although we'll dip back toward toilet. Depending how safe he keeps himself, this could be a very profitable position for him. And with Foxy on the back of the site to assist him as well, the rotate to now come from ANTZ. They're reading this perfectly, and as Olivia finds the first kill, that now gets a little difficult. Luckily, Vita able to respond with a frag of his own. Foxy has to be careful, doesn't want to over-aggress in this position. And obviously is safe on the close wall. A nice little flashbang to help him go for that peak, but now that could inhibit him more than it could help him. But still, with 25 on the clock, it is going to be Rolex that trades in return. ANTZ back at the site just has to be a little careful. The grenade should do damage at least. And as that bomb does go down... Oh, why would you aggress through the smoke like that? Already giving your team a huge disadvantage. That should be the game in itself as Vita the final man. And whilst he takes down 2, it's not going to matter. That'll be Alpha Red taking map number 1. And going into train, a map that, again, they're still pretty proven on. With 7 maps played in the past 3 months and quite a split win-loss percentage. The last game they lost 16-12 against AOES, but even so, we'll dip into that second map and we'll be back in around 5 to 10 minutes time as we do see train getting underway. And of course, this is the StarLadder minor closed qualifier for the SEA region. Make sure to check out GG.bet, the main sponsor of this endeavor. And with that being said, we'll be back in around 5 to 10 minutes time for the start of map number 2.
Place your bets at GG.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at GG.bet.